Hey guys, welcome back. This is the Mind Method Podcast, episode number 5. And today we are talking about goals. And we kind of touched on it on the last episode when I spoke about my morning routine, Millionaire Mornings, and goal setting and writing our goals out is an important part of achieving our goals for our futures, right? So tell us, what is a goal and why is it so important?
Yeah, goals are huge. And I'll tell you my personal experience with goals, which is, spoiler alert, I didn't have any, or I thought I did, but turns out I didn't. A goal should be a longer term. You can have short-term goals, but a goal, usually a year plus, is a good amount of time for your goal. And your goal should be something that's really clear. You want to put numbers, dates, and things that you can really attach emotion to. Your goal is going to be a picture of what your life is going to look like in a year, 2 years, and you want to really start to tap into, if you had the perfect scenario. If I was a fairy and I came with a magic wand and money was not an object and intelligence was not an object, because intelligence is not an indicator of success. What would your perfect life look like? How much money would you have in the bank? What would you be doing? Where would you be? Where would you be living? What would you be doing? What would be your purpose? How would you be giving back to humanity? Right? And people will say, oh, I don't want to, attach a dollar amount to my goal. That feels kind of greedy or selfish. And I'm going to tell you, no, you should have wealth on your goal card. Because here's the thing. The more wealth that you have, the more time, energy, freedom, and ability that you have to give back, right? So everybody should want to become more wealthy. We need to take the stigma out of wanting wealth and having wanting wealth be a negative thing, because you're going to be able to do a lot more for other people the more that you have. More time, more energy, more money. You should want all of those things. So please, you have our permission. Put it on your goal sheet, and actually you want to go down and write down the amount of money that you're going to have and the date that you want it in your bank. Mm-hmm. I went so far as to print off an invoice, a bank statement, and I white it out the amount that I have in the bank, and I put the amount that I want, and I whited out the date, and I put the date that I want it by, right? And so all of those types of things, your goal is something that should scare you. And we'll talk about the 3 types of goals. But your end goal here, when we talk about goals, we're talking really about the big goal. The goal that's on your goal sheet. And that should be something that scares you. It should be something that is not currently achievable, and it should be something that you have no idea how you would be able to get it. And people will go, "What? That's a silly goal. Why would I put down my goal of something that I don't know how to get? This is my education, this is my job, these are my skills, so therefore this should be my goal." Something that's a natural extension of that. Mm-hmm. And we're going to tell you, no, that is not your goal. That is what we would refer to as an A or B goal, meaning your A goal, so we can get into that now. Your A goal is something that you know you can achieve. Your B goal is something that, given a certain amount of things that you established that you could achieve, so things you think you could achieve, but this goal, the one we're really talking about and the one we're really passionate about, that's going to be your driving force and your reason to get out of bed every day, is going to be that goal that really scares you. And the goal that you have no idea how to achieve, because guess what? You don't need to know how to achieve your goal. You just need to be able, at this point, if you're in the beginning of your journey, or maybe you already have a goal and you're reassessing it, let this be your message to hear that your goal should be bigger than you ever dreamed of, and you don't need to know how to achieve it. Did I sum up what a goal is?
So let's say I'm sitting watching this and I go, okay, lady, I shouldn't know how to achieve my goal. Then how the heck am I going to get it? What do you say to that?
Yeah, I would say that when you set your goal big enough and when you attach enough emotion to your goal, you don't need to know how to get it, because the universe will fill in the how for you. What the heck do I mean by that? I mean this. I mean that the more that you emotionally attach yourself to the life that you want to have, if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. And this is what a lot of people don't realize. You don't have idle dreams just for the sake of not having the actual thing, right? Because when we attach emotion to it, the really amazing things that happen is all of a sudden we'll get those sparks of inspiration. We'll get those moments of ideas. And 99% of the time, we're just going to toss those ideas away. But now what we're going to do, because we have this goal, is we're going to say to ourselves, each time that one of these little moments of inspiration comes, will this take me closer to my goal? If the answer is no, don't do it. Yes, toss it away. But if the answer is yes, then do it. And that's what we call taking inspired action. Mm-hmm. Right? Definitely. So 95% of this whole thing is going to be the mindset, working on your mindset and becoming really clear on your goal and doing the visioneering and doing all of those feel-good things that put you in the right vibration. And then 5% is going to be having those moments of inspiration and taking action. Like, guys, if you're going to get to your goal, you're going to need to be the person that gets those goals done, right? So if you have a really big goal, and it comes with a lot of success, you're going to need to be the successful person that's able to achieve those goals. So you're going to be working on your habits, you're going to be working on your self-image, you're going to start to shatter old paradigms, that limiting beliefs that tell you this is as good as life gets, and you're going to really start to put new habits in your routine that are going to take you towards your goal. The starting point is just getting clear on what it is.
That's huge. And I think you said something there that is big for people who haven't begun maybe their personal development journey as of yet. And it's that when you have a big goal in life and you want to achieve something really, really huge that you've never done before, and it's really scary and you have absolutely no idea how you're going to get it, when you understand and learn the personal development, and when you grow as a person, you really get to that place of understanding that it's not about how you get the goal, it's who do you have to become to achieve that. And when you become the person who earns $1 million a year, or even more, $1 million a month, when you become the person who can do that, that's when you'll get those results, right?
Yeah, the goal here is the growth.
The goal is the growth.
All of the other things that you get, all of the material things, the lifestyle things, the environmental things, your situational things, those are all the bonuses. Those are all the results of who you become.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and it's funny because, you know, I just, every time that I hear people say, like, oh, I just want to have enough to get by, I'm like, why are you limiting yourself? Go for the stars, right? As adults, we really learn to settle.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Yeah, so you want to be able to push yourself outside of your comfort zone, and a lot of that is going to start to be, what do I believe I can achieve? Right? Because here's the thing about your goal is, if you don't believe that you can achieve it, then it's just a wish. Mm-hmm. It's not a goal. It only becomes a goal when you really firmly believe and expect that you can have it. And that can be the hardest thing to achieve, is that really firm belief, that faith. Because we've learned in our society that we need to see it before we believe it. Mm-hmm. We need to see things, and we need to hold it in our hand, and we need to read the study that proves that it's real before we're willing to believe. So why is that how we see ourselves? Mm-hmm. Why do we see ourselves as somebody that is so limited in what they can achieve? And people will say, well, you know, this is what I have around me. And let me tell you, the environment that you have around you is not an indicator of your potential. It is only an indicator of this moment in time, mm-hmm. and your self-image of what you can achieve just to today.
Not the future.
Not the future. And that should be really exciting, because mm-hmm. you should go, oh, so you mean just because I have a bachelor's degree that I've never used and I work a 9 to 5, and you mean it's not as good as it's going to get? No. When you start to think differently. And when you start to have a different belief in your own potential, you can achieve anything. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. For anybody that's doubting that, 2 books that I want you to read. Number 1, Science of Getting Rich, Wallace D. Wattles. We talk about this book all the time. I listen to it on Audible.
Great book.
2 hours. Listen, who doesn't have 2 hours to listen to a book, right? And it was written in 1903 and the information is the same, which is that everything that is ever going to be here is already here. Energy is not created or destroyed, it's already here. So all this money that you don't think can come to you, it's already here waiting to come to you. You just need to claim it. The other book that I want you to read, if you're unsure of yourself, maybe you don't believe in yourself, is Psycho-Cybernetics. Because until you identify with yourself as a successful person, and until you start to really believe in your own potential to be successful, nothing will happen. That goal, you can sit and stare at it and you can really, really want it, but you don't want to even want things. You want to expect them. This is the difference.
More than mere hope or wish.
More than a mere hope or wish, right? When you begin to attach that emotional attachment, picture yourself living in that house. Picture yourself doing that thing, right? Picture yourself having all of the things that you want and then start to expect them. And then, please, start believing in yourself. Everything that you need is already within you. You just need to unleash it.
Very well said.
So how would you say is a starting point for someone who is really unclear about where to even start creating their goal? What advice would you give to the person who maybe has a goal, maybe they're not sure if they're emotionally attached to it? Is it the right goal? Is it not? What advice would you give?
That's a good question. I've actually been asked this question before as well. People have asked me, I don't know if I'm clear on my goals. I don't know if I have goals that have an emotion attached to them. I don't know if they're good enough goals. And so I think when you really look and you take stock at the things that you want in life, truly, there's almost no way to not attach emotion to those things, right? Because the heart and the soul want deeply to do good things, and they want things that are going to bring peace and fulfillment, right? And so when I think personally for myself, the reason that we want wealth and abundance is not just for ourselves and our family and to have provide a great life for our children. It's so that we can provide for other people and help other families in need and help other children who are sick and other kids with allergies and families who can't afford the treatments, and help and give. And so I've found that the best way for me to really create those goals is to come from a place of selflessness. So I can tell you most of the goals on my goal list involve giving, making massive donations, changing people's lives, being able to start a foundation together so that we can change other people's lives, like doing things for other people, giving back to your parents. And there's a whole list of things that we want to achieve, most of which do not involve anything self-serving. And when I think of even helping another family who can't afford OIT, because our oldest son has food allergies. So here in Canada, oral immune therapy, or OIT for short, it's very expensive, and it can be in the tens of thousands of dollars for treatments. So none of that is covered by insurance or the government. So it can be very, very, very expensive for a lot of families. And we want to Tamar has this idea to start a foundation to pay for families every year who can't afford that treatment for their children, because we've seen the heartache on our son's face when he's at a birthday party and he can't eat the pizza or a cheeseburger or the McDonald's or whatever it is, or the ice cream, and he feels singled out and left out. So we want to help those families and help those children get through that and really heal from that. So man, when you have a goal like that, you can't help but attach really strong emotion to how is it going to feel when I help a family that much? Like, wow, to help a child feel included. That's really powerful. I don't know how you would not have emotion in that as a goal. Now, I've heard other people say, well, I've got these goals. I want a Lamborghini. I'm like, well, that's a horrible goal. First of all, because it's extremely self-serving. Why do you want a Lamborghini? You really need to ask yourself these questions deeply. Like, why do you want a Lamborghini? Because you want to look cool and you want to impress other people. You want other people to think highly of you. And it's really, really narcissistic. It's really, I would say, self-serving. And so there's nothing wrong with having a Lamborghini if you have abundance and wealth and you're giving and you have foundations. But I think it goes to a deeper level where it's like, if I end up with a Lamborghini, that's fine. I don't really care. I'm not really materialistic. But my goal is not to be seen in a Lamborghini so that other people think highly of me. That's not the goal, right? The goal is to help other people. The goal is to make the world a better place, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with you. Everybody should have a sense of purpose. But I'm just going to say, if people want to have the Lamborghini on their goal card, I think that's great. Because you probably have to be pretty darn successful to be able to buy yourself one of those.
I disagree. So, I think it's super selfish to want a Lambo.
You can want the nice house. I think that you can want the nice car. I think that you can want all of those things, because one of the things with goals is they need to be what you really want. What is it that makes you really happy? You don't want to have the things that other people think you should want, right? Maybe mom and dad had an expectation that one day you would buy them a house, right? And so maybe that's your goal, but that's not really the thing that really makes you happy, right? So your goal should make you really happy. You should see the world as your oyster, it's a menu that you can pick from. And this also really takes away that sense of competition that you have, or disappointment. When you drive by that house and you go, oh, I'll just never be the person that can have that house. No, you can have that house now and have that be your inspiration. That can be your vision board, right? Because then instead of being upset that somebody has something that you could never have, you now can strive to be the person that has that, whatever it is. And that actually then can be a source of inspiration and excitement. So
I think what you're saying is the same as what I'm saying, because I agree with what you're saying. Is you envision yourself as the person who drives the Lamborghini or the G-Wagon. And if that's the goal, to become the person who's achieving those things, because you see yourself driving that car once you've grown so much as a human, that's the abundance you've attracted. That's a totally different story. Because I can tell you, I know people who have owned Lamborghinis, and I know people personally who have owned Aston Martins, and they were no happier. That's not a goal, to own a piece of materialistic possession that doesn't make you happy. And I can tell you firsthand that what does bring you happiness and fulfillment in life is giving. It's when you help other people in this world. That's where true fulfillment comes from. So when you're trying to attach emotion to your goals, it should be happiness and joy for yourself to grow as a human being, to be more loving for your family and more kind and more calm. But also, I think there needs to be a big element of giving, right? And when you become that person, and you can see yourself driving the G-Wagon, because that's the person who's committed themselves and had the discipline to get up every morning and commit to the millionaire mornings and do the gratitude work and start a new business and do all those scary things and put in the time and the energy and learn the law of attraction. And then you've become the person who has the wealth and abundance, who can drive that flashy car. That's a different story for me. I think that's a different message. And I think that's really where the distinction and the difference is, because I've met a lot of people who say, like, here's my goal card. I want a mansion, a yacht, a Lamborghini. I want. And I say, this is a horrible goal list. This is completely self-serving. Why do you need those things? And they won't bring you happiness.
Yeah. look, I've got a G-Wagon on my vision board. I will have a G-Wagon. But here's the thing. Most of the things that I have on my goal card are ways in which I can give back. Because when I'm the person that can buy that G-Wagon and have the nice house for my kids to play in, I'm also that same person that's able to give back in a really massive way. And I think that's the distinction here, is you have to have a sense of purpose. Your sense of purpose is how you can give back. Because contribution is going to be the most fulfilling thing that you can have, right? So I'm going to give you guys a couple of suggestions as you're crafting your goal, or maybe you already have your goal and you want to revisit it. Here's a few things to consider. Number one, what experiences would you like to have in life, right? What are some of the amazing things that you would like to have, right? Once you get clear on those, then you can think, okay, in what ways do I need to grow to become the person that has those experiences? And once I do grow and I start to have these experiences, in what way can I give back? In what way am I going to be able to make my footprint on the world and have a legacy that I can leave behind? When you answer those three questions, you're going to craft for yourself a really amazing life. And when you do want, that nice mansion or that nice car, I'm going to invite you to go a little bit deeper. And whatever goal that you have, say, I want to have a really nice house. Okay, so that, finish the sentence, so that what? I tell all of my clients this. When you want to have a goal and you're starting to think through it, answer the so that question. I want to have a nice house so that I can give my kids a really nice life. So that my kids are happy and healthy. So that they have really amazing memories. Great. Then if that's the case and that's what makes you happy, it's more about the memories for your kids and their experience in life and less about the house. So just start to go deeper, because when you go deeper, you're probably going to realize on your own that all the material things that you want are in fact so that you can have those experiences and the growth and the contribution.
So maybe those are the goals.
So maybe yeah, absolutely. And we brought up my sense of purpose. So I can quickly, actually, it's a really good example of setting a goal that I had no idea how to do. And I'll share the progression of where this came from, because when we started this journey and I was asked to put down a goal, and I thought, okay, I'll put down a money goal. And then, contribution, the Sick Kids donation was always first and foremost. And then I thought, okay, well, what's my sense of purpose? And I thought, uh-oh. I'm having crickets here. Okay, it's to be a good mom. Okay, sounds great, right? Isn't that everybody's goal and purpose? But it just didn't feel quite right. And I didn't know where to go with it. So you had told me, put the intention out there. Put the intention out there that you want to find your sense of purpose, and that's what I did. And I've talked in previous episodes about the power of when my mind has been quietest, that I've had those creative moments. So it was in the times that I was meditating and just really still and quiet and sitting with myself that I thought, well, hello, I have the perfect opportunity to have a sense of purpose. I have a son with food allergies. So my purpose is going to be to put him through oral immunotherapy and pay for every single treatment. This is tens of thousands of dollars for one food. And he's got lots of allergies. So I want to have enough wealth to pay for all of his oral immunotherapy forever. Oh, I felt so good about it. And then a little while later, I was having another quiet moment. And I had this flash in my head. You're thinking too small. Because we keep talking like, stop thinking small, go big. So I started thinking, why do I just want to pay for his OIT? I want to be able to put other families through OIT. I want to make a difference for other families. I want to put 5, 10 families. I want to put them through OIT. People who would have otherwise not been able to afford it.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. And I felt so good. I bought the domain for my foundation, and that felt really amazing. And then, probably a week or two later, I had another light bulb moment. And I was like, I'm still thinking too small. 5 or 10 families? No. So today, my purpose is, and this is my big, huge goal that I don't know how to achieve and that scares me. Maybe I won't achieve it. Maybe I will. The goal is that we accumulate enough wealth that I can put enough money back into food allergy research and awareness so that there is a treatment in our son's lifetime to where he can enjoy food, to where he can go to a restaurant. And I meditate on this all day long. I want him to go into a restaurant and pick off the menu. That's my dream. That's my purpose. And I want to have a treatment so that other kids experiencing food allergies can do that too.
And food allergies are extremely, like, they're rampant now. Like when we were kids, like barely anyone had allergies, but now it seems like, I mean, in our son's class alone, there's like 6 kids that have EpiPens. So like this has become a very large scale issue, I think, globally. So, you know, it can actually change the quality of a lot of people's lives, and especially for a lot of kids to be able to enjoy food. And food for us, like, we really enjoy good food, and that's one of the big joys for us in life. And I grew up on an organic farm. I was very blessed to be fed the best food possible, and we share that passion, and food has always been a really important part of our life. And so to see our son not be able to partake and enjoy a lot of those foods is, you know, it's heartbreaking. And there's a lot of families that deal with that. And it's not just the missing out and the feeling left out. It's, I mean, we've had anaphylactic reactions and EpiPen and ambulance rides and very scary incidents. And, you know, me running out of work on the phone, we're on the way to the hospital, we're in the ambulance, is he breathing? Like these are very real scary things that a lot of families are going through. So this foundation, we will achieve, we will, you know, raise enough wealth and awareness and have lots of donors, and we will be among many donors who push and grow this foundation so that we can have treatments and maybe even a cure in our lifetime for food allergies. So
yeah, if we still have our podcast in 20 years, I hope that there will be a cure, and we will be announcing that we had a part in it.
But that's a massive goal.
It's a massive goal. I mean, listen, finding a cure for food allergies in his lifetime is the goal, right? Yeah. But here's the thing with goals, right? That's the goal. I'll take and be so grateful for anything that happens in between. Putting one other family through OIT,
of course,
will make me feel so happy. Putting tens of families through OIT will make me so happy. Being a part of food allergy research growing will make me so happy. So every single thing that takes me to my big goal is going to be already super amazing.
And can I touch on that? I think, and Pace Morby, I mean, it's no secret that I'm part of Sub 2, hence the hat. But Pace, I was in Orlando recently at the Squad Up Summit, and Pace said something that really stuck with me and I'll never forget. And he said, you know, most people, when you ask them what their why is, and they always, almost across the board, 100% of people, their why is their family. Why do they do what they do? And it's for their wife and kids or their husband and their children at home. And his response, like, I was taken aback. He's like, that is complete BS. That's so selfish. And I was like, whoa. And he's like, what you need to be thinking of is how much wealth can I acquire? So how many other people outside of your own immediate family are you feeding on a daily basis, right? How many other people are you helping every single day in your life? And that really hit me, and that really sat with me. And that's to the point of Tamar's foundation. It's the goal is the growth, but the goal is not for us to help our son only. Right? It's not, that's so selfish. That's if we just literally just stop, if it stopped there, that's extremely selfish. If we're just going to help ourselves, right? And to his point, that's extremely selfish. There's so many families and children and people in this world that are in need, who are less fortunate in their circumstances, that we have the ability and are so blessed to be able to go out and help. And so your goals should be to accumulate wealth, to put meals on exponential amount of people's tables every day. And I think that is just that's an amazing goal to think in terms of that. Like,
shout out to Pace, who says purpose over profit.
Yep.
And through this community, through us and our listeners, I want to all chat a year from now. I want to start a movement where everybody finds their own way to really give back. And I can tell you, just in having talked about this food allergy thing, I'm now hyper because I'm excited. I'm like, let's go. Like, what can I do right now? I'm ready to go send some emails and make things happen because now I'm so revved up wanting to make that happen. So when you get clear on your passion, how do you know that it's the right one? How do you know that your purpose is the right one? It's when it gets you freaking excited to jump out of bed and go crush the day so that you can be one step and one day closer to that.
Yeah. That's the emotion.
And that's the goal, right? And that's why having a sense of purpose is so important, because it's going to energize you in ways that you never thought possible.
And what would you say to someone who out there is like, I don't know what my purpose is?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's such a good question. I would say put the intention out there, right? Set the intention. Spend more time at peace with yourself, having those quiet moments, the meditation, and go out there and reach out to somebody. Because the more that you do little things for people each day, and the more that giving becomes a part of your daily routine, you're going to find those things that will really make you feel good on the inside. When you find those moments where you've done something and you feel so good, do more of that.
Do more of that. Yeah, that's the advice that I was given, and the advice that we often share with people and our clients is that if you don't have purpose, set the intention and just go help. Yeah. Help anyone and everyone you come across, right? Yeah. And the more you give, the more you help the universe and people in the world, the more that purpose will reveal itself and will become very clear to you, right? I can tell you that firsthand, for the two of us, we never, ever thought of becoming mindset coaches. I didn't even know what mindset or personal development, a year ago, I didn't even know what that was. So this is something that came from setting an intention and going out and helping other people, right?
I think I was meant to be, a mindset coach.
I've definitely were.
I've been passionate about this for years.
You definitely were meant to do this.
And we're going to be checking in the comments section below this video. So drop in the comments what your purpose is going to be.
Or if you found it through this method, through giving, because that's a beautiful thing.
And if you don't have your purpose, then drop in the chat what you plan to do today to go and help someone else out. Listen, it can be a phone call to your aunt who you know is having a hard time. If that's what it is, we applaud you. There's no such thing as giving back in a way that's too small.
Yep.
You can never not do enough. Anything that you do is going to be making a difference for somebody else. And that's what this is all about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So go out and set some goals.
Yes. Let's go set bigger goals now.
Yeah. Okay.
I was going to say your biceps are looking really fit. So.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So,
thank you.
Well done. I can tell you're working out.
Fitness goals.
That's right. That's right. I made you blush. Yeah. Okay, tune in for our next episode. We've got lots more coming up for you guys. Let's go crush it. You guys go crush it.
Yeah. Set some goals. Massive ones. We'll see you on the next one.